We back, you know what the fuck we got going on. It's your fucking host, Tori, the one and only. Not the two, not the three, but the one. So I'm back today with another one. We back to back with it. I don't know why I always grab this as if like I'm DJing somewhere. I'm not. Just hosting. So we're back today with another week, another beautiful week, another beautiful moment with beautiful people. So today I am talking about insecurities. We're going to get straight into it. But first, I want to know how everybody's week's been. You know how we get down. So how has your week been? For real? Okay. That's nice. All right. So my week has been, it's been one of them things, but we ain't going to get into too much into it. That's why I'm bringing in insecurities into the podcast today. So first, I want to say that insecurities is something I chose to talk about because I noticed in the last couple podcasts that I have some insecurities. You know, maybe I thought they went away. Maybe I thought that I maybe healed from those old wounds or something, but I didn't. And I wrote down like a little prompt, like a little writing prompt to like, you know, express how I feel and how to get through those emotions and how to figure out how I can better myself. So boom, that's what we're doing today. We're tackling our insecurities together as a motherfucking family because that's what the fuck we do here on the G World, period. So do y'all even know the definition of insecurities? Because I got it written down, in case y'all didn't know. I got it written down today. We getting real technical. We back with the notepad. We back with the notepad. The Google definition of insecurity is a feeling of inadequacy or uncertainty. For example, potentially having anxiety about goals, relationships, and certain situations. So I tend to look back at some of the podcasts that I watched, and I noticed that I was insecure in my statements because those statements did come from a place that I thought that's how I felt. But then looking back, it's like, is that how I really felt, or is that what I just said at the time in the moment? Because sometimes being on the podcast, I really don't think before I speak, which I should do more. You know, we're gonna work on that. But I realized that some of those ways I didn't feel until I went back and I watched it, and I was like, I don't even really feel that way. It just sounded good at the time that I said it or the time I was having that conversation. So I've been doing a lot of shadow work, trying to figure out how do I really feel and what do I really feel, and actually, you know, taking accountability for the things that I say, because, you know, we don't know where this podcast may go one day, and it is public AF. So I want to be correct as fuck when it comes to the things that I'm saying, or at least be able to defend the things that I said. So I've been doing journal work, and you know, if you don't know what journal work is, that's when you journal how you feel, journal the things that you've been going on, and have conversations with yourself and write down it on paper, you know, how you feel, or I guess type it or say it. I don't know. That's what I do. That's how I do my journal work. I write it down and I say how I feel. So I went through a couple of Pinterest posts relating back to my like third podcast where I was talking about, you know, like a little life update. And this is kind of that, but, you know, based on insecurities. So the first question was asked. It says, what aspects of your life do you project onto others in unhealthy ways? So for me, I felt like when you have insecurities, you project a lot of those feelings onto other people to get, I guess, like the questions answered that you want, or the kind of statements that you want. Like, I guess to carry the kind of conversation that you would like to have. And I said, I have projected my sexuality and my encounters onto other people. And when I say that, I mean, like, I guess I could have met somebody and I'm okay. Specifically, when I meet a man, I tend to like go off into the sexual realm as if, you know, like that's what they want to talk about. Or even if it has been brought up in a notion, it's like I overshare in a way that, I don't know. Like I overshare too much. And I think that's a way for me to feel better about my past experience, or I'm shunning away from, you know, what I'm really trying to say, because I don't want you to get to know the real me. Because if I project in a sexual way, then you'll never get to know the real me, instead of just, you know, saying what I really want to say and talking about what I want to talk about. So That's something that I noticed in myself. And I noticed that when I overchoose to share, actually, that's a form of my anxiety. Like, I overshare when I'm nervous. I overshare when I just meet people, not, or I will shut down. So I'm noticing that I overshare a lot when I meet people. Even when I meet random people, I overshare just personal business that has nothing to do with proper conversation. And it's weird, and it's not weird, but I think, like, looking back on it, it's just like, what the fuck do I be thinking, or what do I be going through at those times that make me freeze up so bad? So everything is a why, and it's a reason to it. And I really haven't. I wrote those down, trying to get into a deeper thinking. I just came to this conclusion like this week. So I'm going to do some in-depth thinking, and hopefully I can come back to it if I get some comments. We can come back to insecurities part 2. So that's how I felt about me projecting my thoughts onto other people in unhealthy ways. The second question was, what emotions do you try to avoid? So I feel like when you're dealing with your insecurities, you tend to avoid how you feel. You don't want to avoid them so they automatically become an insecurity, because you're trying to shun away from the fact of how you really feel. And you don't want other people to know that you feel that way either. So it's like you putting on a mask every time. So I feel like I avoid loneliness because I have experienced some of the worst moments alone, and I associate my worst moments with loneliness. So like, I guess when I went through a little bit of homelessness, a few years ago, I went through a lot of moments alone, not realizing that those moments made me stronger, but I really do associate like loneliness with like hardship, and not associated with peace, not associated with time for self. I don't think that sometimes. I think that, if I'm alone, like I'm completely alone, like nobody's around. And maybe that's some only child syndrome shit, but that's something I need to work on, as well as working on my insecurity. So I want y'all to talk back to me in these comments and let me know, how do you avoid your emotions? And how do you feel like you project yourself onto other people? And how do you feel like you could better yourself? The third question is, what is something your younger self would be surprised about? Because, I feel like you always revert back to your kid self sometimes. And when you be thinking like how far you come, you be thinking like, you don't even be thinking about how young you was. You be thinking about your high school self or your middle school self, but your younger self, like, would your younger self think you would be this far? When the people used to ask you like, what do you aspire to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Are you doing those things? Are you doing the complete opposite? Are you happy where you are? So, I said, I'm surprised that I'm single, like really fucking single. Like, after my last little encounter, I decided I should take a break from people and like maybe the dating life right now, just to focus on self. Because as you know, I'm moving to California, so it just seems only right that I, just focus on self and take out relationships and situationships out of the equation. And I never thought that like at 24, like I would really be single. Like in my head, I thought I was going to be married. I was going to have kids, and I was going to like have this house. And, like, not that it's a problem to be 24 and not be there, but it's also that's something I had hope for myself. And I think sometimes when I get alone, I be thinking like, damn, I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no man. I ain't working towards that, but that's okay. Like, I'm 24. Like, I have like 5 good years left to, figure that situation out. But in retrospect, that's a form of my insecurity, is like me facing like the past, that I'm not where my old self thought I should be, and me realizing that I'm everywhere I should be. Like, God put me exactly where I should be at the right moments, and I should just be grateful that I made it this far, because a lot of shit could have took a bitch out. You feel me? So those are the 3 questions for my journal work this week. And, I want y'all to answer me back in the comments what you think about, the questions I asked and I asked myself. I really like to hear it. So we're going to get into how the fuck you can just better yourself, period, and how you can just better your insecurities, because now we're going to get to the real shit. We're going to get to the real G shit. Okay. We had a cute little sentimental moment. Did you like it? So, I found 2 ways that, for me, I hope this can work for you guys. These are things that I have found that work for me. Okay. So 2 ways that I felt that I have that I work on my insecurities is shadow work. If you don't know what shadow work is, it is a concept that was introduced to me through spirituality, and it is a practice of introspect whereby I ain't gonna read that part. It's just a practice of introspect of work that you do through, you know, a hidden part of yourself. So it's just like getting deeper into yourself and figuring out, you know, those deeper aspects of yourself, those hidden part of yourself that, you know, just to unlock and figure out why you do the things that you really fucking do. Not just that's just the way I am, head ass bitches. I feel that one way of shadow work that you know, I just said that I be journaling, but that's my form of shadow work. I journal. I look up writing prompts that pertain to like something I need to get out, whether that's inspiration, whether I need motivation, whether I need affirmations. Those are ways that I practice to ensure that I don't let my insecurities take over, you know, the dark side of my mind to think that I can't do the things that I'm supposed to do. Like, I feel that I've worked really hard on a lot of my insecurities, but it's time to take a deeper aspect and like take it a little bit deeper and figure out, you know, those childhood traumas that maybe I haven't really touched on. Maybe it's something deeper. You know, I don't know yet. You know, that's why I do the things that I do, and I try to better myself and try to figure out why I do those things. So, I actually got a writing prompt from this website called yummymummykitchen.com. They got like 50 fucking writing prompts about shadow work. So if you want to take a look, I'll link the link on the YouTube so you can see it. But it had like 30 great questions about, you know, about yourself and just how you, what do you think about you? Not but nobody else, not what do you think about nothing but fucking you. And I feel like you should tune into that. Get into yourself. Stop worrying about other people. Drink your fucking water and worry about yourself. You feel me? Like, sometimes that's all you need is a little bit of you and you. Period. Another form of self-improvement to, you know, help yourself get out of these insecurities is reading self-help books. I felt that, I mean, if you're not a reader, that's on you, but I love reading, and I felt that I read like 2 self-help books. I read a couple self-help books this year, but the main ones that I read that really helped me start this podcast and helped me get my feet moving and just doing the things that I should be doing for myself, and just, I don't know how much more I can fucking elaborate that this self shit is really going hard right now. Like, worrying about self is just, I've been trying to just get back into and tuning into who I am and what's best for me. And the only way I'm gonna know how to do that is if I fucking read and fucking get in tune, take a little piece. So 2 books that I've read are I'm gonna only give you 2 books because, you know, we ain't got time. So the 2 books I read is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. It's what you know who that is? Okay. That is Oprah's life coach. She's a successful woman, and if I want to be successful, I need to learn from fucking Oprah and Deepak Chopra. So I read that book. It's a daily book. I actually have it in my bag. I'll take it out and I'll show y'all. Hold on. This is the book right here. If you want to like look it up or guess, you know, go see that, you can go look at that. It's called The 7 Laws of Success, and it's an everyday book for me. I try to read it like at least every day. The first 2 or 3 pages are very inspirational. The whole it's literally, I think it's like 96 pages. You can literally read this every day, and it's just a good way to ensure that you're putting yourself in the right mindset to start your day. And that's what you need when you have insecurities. If you know you're battling with something, you have to ensure yourself that you're doing something every single day to better yourself and fight them demons. Because that's insecurity is a demon in my book. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having insecurities, but there's definitely ways to improve them. So this book, my favorite law in this book is the law of detachment. And in fact, it has only taught me that I'm only attached to the outcome. Most of the time, we're only attached to the end goal. We're not in love with the process. We're not in love with the hard work. I mean, for some people are. I know the fuck I ain't. But you got to be in love with the process for real. You feel me? And sometimes worrying about how it's going to look at the end is only going to delay you from getting it started. So, are you like that? Yeah, I'm saying some real shit. Nah, but that's the only way you're going to figure out what's best for you is if you... Damn, I got too hyped, didn't I? Is if you worry about the outcome. You can't worry about the outcome of things. I feel like if I never would have started the podcast if I didn't look beyond myself and say like, okay, like you gotta start somewhere. You gotta do something. You can't just sit around and say, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep doing this. You gotta actually do that shit. And you gotta believe that you can do it. You feel me? Like, don't motherfucking talk that shit. Walk that shit. You feel me? And you can do it. Like, anybody can. Anything that you aspire to do, you can fucking do it. Because there's people out here who have sometimes less, but they have more will, more drive, more authenticity. And that's what's getting them further. You feel me? The fact that they might have a million insecurities in the world, but they're not letting let that shit slow them down. So don't let that shit slow you down. And I'm going to give you a little reference from the book. One way to experience the law of detachment is to practice detached involvement. Stay alert to the opportunity within every problem by letting go of your idea of how things should be. Let shit be. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be what you expect it to be. It might be better than you expect it to be if you let go of the notion that it's going to be the way you want it to be. Hey, a philosopher. I cannot be serious, man. But no, for real. Maybe like if you just let go, like I swear, let go and let God for real. Cause the minute I let go and I just let opportunities flow and let shit happen, I feel like that's when I was unlocking like the things that I want to happen for myself. I just let stuff happen. When things don't go right, I pray that I'm making the right decision in that moment. And if I know that I'm not, then my body will tell me that I'm not. Cause I feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my heart. And I feel like if you're an in tune person, if you're looking to get in tune, one way you can do that is listen to your body. If you know that you ain't like something somebody said, you automatically know because your body is like, you know, or you have mannerisms that show that you don't like things. So if you know something ain't for you, or if you know you don't like it in your heart, don't pursue it. Don't let it be around you. It's not negative. It's just not something that's for you. And it's a very real thing to have shit in your life that's not for you. Like, don't let shit in your life that ain't for you and let that shit go. It's unnecessary. The second book that I read is called You're a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living Your Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. That's one of my favorite fucking books. Actually, my hair braider, Cal. Oh my God. I love Cal. That's my hair braider. She put me on to You're a Badass and How to Stop Doubting Yourself. It was sitting on her table and I asked her about it and she told me it was a really great book and I bought it on Amazon. That's how I got to know the book. Period. We just gonna cut to the chase. But this book is a really inspiring book and Cal is a really inspirational person. She's a very motivational person. Every time I ever sat in her chair, she just speaks life into me while she does my hair, and I love that. And this is a way, the whole time I've been trying to start the podcast, when I had a website, don't have one no more, she helped me with that. Every time I thought about changing something, and she has been so supportive. So that's why, you know, this book just really relates to her and how she put me onto this book. And this book just showed me that half of the problem is all in your head. It's all in your fucking head. It ain't even happened yet. Half the shit that you're worrying about has not fucking happened yet. So if you're sitting over here thinking to yourself, you're worried about all of these, you're worried about all the little things that could go fucking wrong instead of all the little things that could go fucking right. You know how many infinite possibilities you'll have if you just worry about all the things that could go right and put all your potentiality into all the things that could go fucking right. Go better than right, go amazing, go beyond your imaginations if you just sit back and realize you're exactly where you need to be if you just start. Starting is half of the problem, but your mind is the other fucking half. And if you can get mind over matter, baby, if you can put your mind to it and do it, there's nothing you can't do. But you have to believe in yourself and know like there's infinite possibilities out here for you. And it takes what they say in the Bible, a mustard seed. What they say? What they say in the Bible about the mustard seed? You got to have a faith of a mustard seed. That's what my mama say. You got to have a faith of a mustard seed to be successful, because it takes this much to believe in yourself, to believe in your faith, to believe in whatever you believe in, to get the outcome that you want. So great book, and my bad, I'm up here cracking my knuckles in the thing. I also wrote down that the biggest insecurity that I discovered when reading this book is that I always doubted my self-worth. I never thought that I was good enough to be on YouTube. I never thought I was good enough to have a voice that was worthy of people hearing. Even though I have a big ass voice and I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say regardless, is that I never thought that it was worthy enough to be heard. You feel me? And it is. Everybody's voice is worthy. But it's up to you to just know, is it worthy? You got to ask yourself that question. Am I worthy? You are. You always will be. But people can't keep telling you how much you're worth. You have to know that. Don't put a price tag on yourself when I say that, because I know how some of y'all do. But like, how much are you worth? Like, you feel me? How much are you worth? Are you worth more than these people are fucking offering you? If so, challenge that shit. Don't sit in places that you know you can be beyond. And don't sit around with people that are below your spectrum. And I'm not saying don't hang out with the people that don't hang out with people that ain't doing shit. If they ain't doing more than you, you need to change up your circle. Do something that's inspiring so you can inspire everybody else. Period. I'm learning to be nicer to myself. It's okay that I think I should be further, but if I think that, then maybe I should do more. And it's okay to know that when I'm being nicer to myself, to know that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to have days where I don't want to post about the podcast on Instagram. It's okay to know that everything that I do is for me, and everything surrounding that is just that. I don't have to do nothing but be me. Like something it's said in my bad, relating back to the last book I was talking about, the 7 spiritual laws of success. It says that when you look at grass, it's just green and it grows. The sky is just blue and it just does what it does. It just does what it does. You don't have to do that shit. You don't have to do more than what you're capable of. If you know that's not in your spirit, if you know you can't do it, if that's just not for you, then don't stress yourself out about it. I just think that when you think about all the things that you're not doing and putting yourself in positions of how you could be doing other things, pray about it. And then think about how you could do better, and if you're in a position to do it. And if you're not, then give yourself grace. Because that's all God is doing while you're here, is giving you a little bit of grace to do what you want to do. To do what he thinks that you should be doing for you. But you gotta allow him to let you see that. You feel me? And that's all you gotta do is meditate, baby. Take time for yourself. 10 minutes of meditation every day will do you justice, I feel. And I'm gonna send off the end of this with a beautiful quote from You're a Badass book, period. So I want to reference this and leave everybody off on a good note regarding insecurities. You can do whatever you inspire to do. It's in your heart, it's in your soul. If you feel it, if it make you stir at night, if it make you wanna wake up at 3 a.m. and learn more about it, that's what you should be doing. Aspire to do that shit and be around people who doing more than to the eye. Cause some people sit around other people who look like they're doing a lot and they ain't doing shit. Yeah. So I'm gonna quote. This is from page 64. Let me see what this chapter is called. I don't know. Whatever. So it says, try seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who admires you. They get it. They believe in you, the leaps and your bounds. They aren't connected to your insecurities and negative beliefs about yourself. All they see is your true glory and potential. Become one of your own diehard fans. Look at yourself from the outside. Where are all your self-doubts can't crawl all over you, and behold what shines through. You get to choose how you receive your reality. So why, when it comes to perceiving yourself, would you choose to see anything other than a super huge rock star of a creature? You're a badass. You were one when you came screaming onto this planet, and you were one now. The universe wouldn't have bothered with you otherwise. You can't screw up so majorly that your badassery disappears. It is who you are. It is who you always will be. It is not up for negotiation. You are loved massively, ferociously, and unconditionally. And don't never forget that shit. Period. It's a lot more to that, but you feel me? But don't ever forget that shit. You are loved. You are amazing. You are great. Period. Don't ever let other outside shit make you think different. Like you are doing amazing things. Like when I say this shit, I'm really speaking life into y'all right now. I want y'all to know, like, you can do anything you aspire to be. Like, I really hope that wherever you are in your life right now, you are exactly where you should be. And it can only go up from here. It can only go up from here. So I wanted you to know that the G world is always a loving, a safe space where you can come and let your insecurities be known. I asked the questions today. What do you need to do to be a better self? Be your better self. What insecurities do you need to face to be a better you? So I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. I really enjoyed this topic. I really did. It's some shit I really needed to get out. Yeah, this is my safe space for me to just vent for real. So I hope you like it as much as I do. If you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you don't, fuck you. And you know what we doing. We out for the week. We out for the day. And I see you next time. We got a surprise the next time, baby. We popping champagne on that ass. We out, Will. Close us out. Bye.